The little boy sat on the floor in his room, surrounded by his toys. Micronauts action figures, Hot Wheels race cars, Star Wars action figures and vehicles, Evel Knievel doll and motorcycle, Shogun warriors in various sizes, and a pile of Legos intermixed from various sets. His name was William. His mother called him Billy, just like his uncle who died 10 years earlier in the Vietnam War was called, but he liked to be called William. More than anything, he liked to play in his room, all by himself, with all of his toys surrounding him on the floor. In his room, he was safe. He liked that. He had a vivid imagination and enjoyed introducing the different toys to each other, intersecting their fictional worlds into one. The few times that other neighborhood children were allowed in his room, they had an issue with that, the fictional worlds colliding. They all said to William, "Micronauts don't fight Star Wars people." "And why not?" William said. "Because Micronauts aren't in the movie Star Wars, dummy," they all said. The other neighborhood children weren't allowed in his room after that. William spent most of his time after school in his room, although he would occasionally venture into the backyard, a large grassy area with a tall oak tree in the back near the fence, a mostly completed treehouse perched up in its canopy. With 2 rooms to play in, one inside and one outside, his world seemed rather large. There wasn't much need to go anywhere else, except for school. School, to him, was an evil place. He hated going to school. William stood up one of his Shogun warriors, the one called Brave Radine, the tall one painted red and black, with a bow and arrow and a crazy silver mask that made him look like King Tut or something. "What are you going to do about that jerk Randy at school?" William made his voice as low and gravelly as possible to speak like what he thought Brave Radine would sound like. "I don't know," William said in his normal voice. "You should do something to scare him real good," Brave Radine said. "Like what?" William said, curious. "You should get the thing in your mommy's nightstand. That'll scare him real good," said Brave Radine, then laughing an evil laugh. "Yeah," William said, jumping to his feet. He tossed Brave Radine to the side, opened his door, and ran down the hallway to his parents' room, his long, lanky arms swinging like those of a spider monkey. His mother heard him running and called out to him, "Billy, what are you doing?" "Nothing, Mom," he said, entering her bedroom and running around the queen-size bed to where her nightstand sat. He laid down on his stomach in front of the nightstand and reached under the bed. "Randy is going to be sorry he messed with me." He wrapped his hand around the metal railing of the bed frame, then slid his hand down the length of it until he found what he was looking for, a small key wedged between the mattress and the frame. He propped up on his knees and looked at the nightstand, a cheap Sears piece made of particle board to look like oak with various things of his mother's on top, like a bottle of nail polish, a women's magazine, a lamp, an alarm clock, a remote control for the TV, a framed photo of William with his stepdad. Then he slid the key into the keyhole above the handle of the nightstand drawer. "I hope this still works," he said, whispering to himself, turning the key to the right and then turning it to the left. The lock popped, and he slid the drawer open. Yes! Inside the drawer were 3 things: a Bible, a vibrator that looked more like a skinny curling iron than a sex toy, and a .25 caliber American Derringer pistol. That gun was considered a lady gun by firearms enthusiasts, but to William, it was James Bond's gun, since it looked similar to the 9mm Walter pistol in the Bond movies. He picked up the gun and held it tightly, aiming at an imaginary target on the wall, picturing Randy's stupid face looking scared in his mind.